Mark.
Well, this pretty much confirms it. Joe Mullen and Cameron Chase are both terrible human beings.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Find out why. Watch Joe Mullen get killing joked, and and more in this edition of DC Comics Deep Dive, coming up right after. Oh, I should really have prepared for this. Right after this.
This.
Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to make sure you like. Don't forget to hit the hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you're alerted to new content, and leave us a comment so you're alerted whenever we upload new content. But we got something. This is kind of cool. Watch this, which is just below me.
What is that? How'd you do that?
It's a brand new overlay you can do in
It's built in the StreamYard?
Yeah, it's built into StreamYard.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I like it when I don't have to try to figure things out. They'll just do it for me.
Yeah, that's why we pay them the big bucks.
Exactly. We got a brand new Absolute Green Lantern this time.
We
Issue
did. I
number
have
9.
absolute questions as well. I'm excited.
Exactly. I love when one of the things I love about the Absolute Comics, which is one of the reasons why they have Absolute Comics, and one of the draws is, ooh, who are we going to see for the first time now?
Yeah.
You know, and it actually starts off with the very first words. I'm like, I know that name.
Did you? Stephen Dayton.
Yeah. He was Mento in the old Doom Patrol.
That's Mento?
Yeah.
Not Flexman.
No. He was the dude. He was married to Rita Farr in the Doom Patrol. So, which is why he has the Mento helmet.
I was about to say, the dude with the helmet. Okay, got you. It took a second to get rolling on that one.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of an obscure character for me.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was like I know that name. It was like, that was great. So, but we don't know why we're seeing that name. The first name we see is a name we've never seen before, Steve Dayton. But as we get into the story, we'll see that there is something that is talking to him, basically from another dimension or another world or another, he's having visions or whatever, however you want to call it.
Well, we as the reader, we've seen it before. We see the black ring that's appeared through this entire series speaking to him, giving him the familiar dialogue, be without fear, or be with fear. What do you say? Be with fear. The world that's coming comes closer. And we know it's Mogo, which is like the Dark Star.
Right.
Every day, every hour, every second, warn your planet, warn everyone, be with fear, Stephen Dayton. Fear the face of steel. And that's like, what is that? Like, my immediate thoughts, I'm like, is this absolute John Henry Irons? That's the steel that I know. That was my first thought. Like, just starting this first page, I was already like, where's this gonna go? What are we doing now that we're into a new story arc kind of here?
Yeah. And then we see basically on the very next page his Mento helmet kind of, short circuits and everything. And he hears a knock at the door. And he goes to the door, and he gets he asks someone for basically, hey, what's the phrase or whatever. He doesn't actually say that, but he just says
the password.
Is this the pizza I ordered type of a thing? Kind of like, the eagle has landed, the fat man walks alone, those type of things.
The ducks are migrating east.
Yeah, exactly. And he gets the response, which is almost right, but it's almost right. It's off by one word, but he opens the door anyway.
They shouldn't have opened it.
You should know, yeah. You really
shouldn't have opened it.
Got to be exact, or you don't open the door. Sorry.
Yeah, his friend walked in carrying groceries and everything, and he states, "You're almost right. Next time I'm not opening unless you say it right." So what'd you do? I'm starving. You bring me lunch? And the guy about that time turns around and says, "Nope," and pulls out a pew pew and blasts him and kills him.
Mm-hmm. Right. So as soon as we're as soon as we see Steve Dayton, basically 2 pages later, he's gone.
Bye. Mm-hmm. And he's confused. He's like, why, Terry, why? He's like, oh, Terry died after telling me your countersign. He's pretty much letting know that he was working for Hector Hammond, and he's coming in here for his research. He hits a little button on his lapel, and some mist goes up, and his face changes, and he's like, you can call me Nemesis, at least for this job.
Exactly.
Any other questions?
Yeah, no, I think I'm good.
And I think he died somewhere along the way of him doing his little monologue.
Yeah, it's funny because, I mean, when I saw the mist come up, I'm like, oh, it's going to be the question. But it was like,
Question. Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah. But then it was Nemesis, but not the Nemesis that you're famous, that you like so much. Not
No,
that
different
Nemesis.
Nemesis. Yeah.
Different Nemesis. Um, and so then he calls someone, tells them everything that's going on, and then we switch back to, if you remember, at the end of the last issue, Joe Mullen brought Hal Jordan to her ex's apartment, who is Cameron Chase, and that's kind of where we pick up for the most of the rest of the story here.
Yeah,
So,
he pretty much called into Hector Hammond to confirm that he was
right,
which is ironic because he called in with a call sign, and then Hector Hammond didn't want to do it. So there's a little chain of call signs, little passwords. But yeah, we cut to Joe Mullen. Last seen her showing up at her ex-wife's house with this injured Hal Jordan. So we pick up with Hal on the couch, not sleeping but unconscious, passed out, and Cam kind of asking to, I'm not even really asking what's going on. Kind of, we're right at the end of her explaining what had happened. Pretty much jump in at that point to pretty much just like the showing you that both of these women are just toxic, terrible human beings to each other. And it was kind of weird just watching them argue back and forth while she's glowing green and there's a half dead guy on her couch. And it kind of shows she has more interest. Cam shows more interest in kind of what's going on, as it's kind of part of her job and everything. And they discover, amongst arguing with each other and talking about events, that the gold ring that absorbed the power from Abin Sur, they figured out if you take it off, she doesn't glow green. So it seems the power is held inside the ring. Cam even puts it on and punches the table to test it, and checked out.
Mm-hmm. Right, and she basically, we get the a quick recap of exactly what it is that's going on with everything. Yeah, we see Tomo Ray again. So we see him, who seems as though he's an Orange Lantern. It seems like no, he's a Red Lantern. Right?
Red, yeah. Lantern. And there's a man with hot pink skin, something soulless and metal glowing into its mind. A face of steel. Issue? What, the face of steel?
No, when did we see? Was it last issue or the issue before that we saw?
Sinestro 2 issues ago. 2 issues ago, right? Last issue was Joe Mullen's origin story through Evergreen.
Right.
I don't know what's up with this face of steel, but they mentioned it again.
Yeah. So is Sinestro the face of steel?
I don't know, because it says it's a man with hot pink skin and something soulless and metal glowing into his mind, or growing into his mind. A face of steel. I guess so. I guess so. Whatever's in there is corrupting him.
Maybe it's Mogo.
Could be.
So, and then like you said, we get the big thing with the taking the ring off. Cameron tries it, punches through the table and everything, gives it back to Joe and basically says, she believes her. She's just got to try to figure out exactly what's going on now.
So I'm going to call Simon, my ex-partner, who I trust fully. Not sure if I trust his new partner, but I trust him. And then we kind of cut to Simon and his new partner sitting in an office, kind of checking in with their suit or their boss about the events of Evergreen. What they found out so far, we've identified the character Hal Jordan based off some police car footage. It goes back to issue 1 when we first see him. It's also explained to us why Simon is wearing his signature mask in the Absolute world. He apparently, in a previous mission, had a run-in with a character called Dr. Silence. And now if he sees his face in a reflection, he will cease to exist, which is pretty cool. Who knows if it's true? We assume it is at this point, but some lore that can be explored down the road. And no matter what, it gives us an excuse for him to be wearing his signature mask, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. And it's, exactly like the mask that you would have seen him wearing in the regular universe. So, that's pretty cool. They basically leave. And we find that as soon as they leave, the person that he was talking to basically calls and says, "Hey, I think we got an address for this Hal Jordan guy."
Yeah, getting a hold of Hector Hammond. It looks like Hammond has got his fingers in everything. And at the end of this conversation as well, when they're debriefing with their boss there, he makes a comment. They make the connection to Joe Mullen, like his partner's ex-wife. And he's like, well, as of right now, it doesn't look like she's involved. But to be fair, if she is involved and it's connected to Cam, at that point, boss, I wouldn't tell you. That's my partner. Kind of confirming what Cam said, that he's definitely loyal to his partner. At least that's what they're showing to be.
Right. Go back to Joe Mullen, who's still in Cameron's apartment with Hal. We basically get a knock at the door. The person says that it's John. She walks over to the door and says, we don't know. The person said we don't have much time. She ends up opening the door, which opening doors seem to be very bad in the DC universe.
Yeah, it's not working out for nobody.
Exactly.
She
As soon as she
takes
opens
one
the
to the
door,
shoulder.
yeah, in the shoulder, but basically the shoulder isn't enough.
No, she goes to fire up.
Right.
Ah, because he explains that he got her information from a Todd Rice, Obsidian, and she fires up, says, "Todd, what have you done about that time?" Bloop. He's like, and he tells her, "And now there's another in your gut. I'd stay down."
Right.
And he goes into his monologue phase. He hits his little duster button, and he's like, they called me what is it, Goldface or something?
Goldface, exactly.
Yeah, they called me Goldface for this mission. Blah blah blah, and it ends with him hanging over her with the gold faces, and that's the face that looked like kind of in the beginning of the book.
Right. So that's the Man of Steel is actually probably gold, which again is an old GL, old Green Lantern villain. So from the 80s. So yeah. So we basically, like I said, yeah, we've got Joe Mullen being killing joked at the end of the issue. She's lying on the floor. The gold face standing over her with the gun.
Thank goodness for a ring, though, because instead of having to get a chair like Barbara, she could just drag her legs around. Just her top half work, just drag her legs around.
Yeah, another great issue. I mean, it wasn't the best of all of them that we read so far, but it was still good. Again, my favorite part is always seeing the different characters and how they're going to be, shown in the Absolute universe.
It kind of feels like this one utilizes, and I mean, they might be a little bit more obscure, but like they definitely feel like they utilize a lot more characters in this one outside of maybe the Absolute Evil / Absolute Justice issue, which like that was a smorgasbord of characters and continuity context for the Absolute world. That's kind of how this feels, especially with the last issue with that Joe Mullen story. Plus this one, there's definitely a Where's Waldo of DC Comics history with them.
Yeah, with still portraying that overarching thing is like, okay, you know what, is it Mogo's still coming? Mogo's still coming type of a thing as well. So
what if we get like a Sinestro like super punch out like he did in the proper? That was epic. Like Mogo was tough until he met a pissed off Sinestro. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy.
But that's going to be it for this edition of DC Comics Deep Dive. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's go through. There it is again. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Does all the work for you. I like it.
Like, subscribe, leave us a comment, hit the notification bell so you're alerted whenever we upload new content. As always, though, I am Paul. He is Mark.
But we are Legion.
And you're now leaving Sector 2815.